And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome to Scotty Ray's Weather. It is Friday. The weekend is here. That is the good news that I'm bringing you this morning. We do have that chance of severe weather tonight as an update we get. We'll definitely be in the overnight hours. From midnight till 6 a.m. is going to be our window of severe weather. We'll get into that with the maps here in just a moment and dig deep into it as we look at what to expect. A lot of rain is on the way. And hopefully things will clear out by late afternoon as things get ready. Kipper Academy, if you're going to be in that direction, a night under the stars will take place tomorrow night. And on Saturday night, and that's going to be the Reeves Brothers being the headline, and Britt and Scott and a lot of other people are going to be singing. So if you can, make it up. I think it's $10 for it. It's a great show. Sit out on the football field and enjoy a fantastic show of entertainment. We hadn't had one of those in a while, so a great place to go if you don't have anything to do tomorrow night. Rain will be out by showtime. It's just will it cooperate getting everything ready, I think is the word for it. As we wake up this morning, yesterday afternoon, let's talk about Porterville, Mississippi. A little excitement. Not a lot goes on in Porterville these days. I was from that area, but a train wreck happened yesterday afternoon, and this is one of those where it had a good ending to where no one was truly hurt other than a vehicle. An 18-wheeler pulling a cattle trailer come across the tracks and was hit by a train. As you can tell, the back end of the cattle trailer was ripped off. The good news that I can tell you is there was no cattle on the trailer and just caused a ruckus for a while. So that's what went on yesterday in downtown Porterville. So good news out of that. Although it took up some time and was a wreck, no one was seriously hurt. That's the good news and thumbs up we can give you on that. Let's see here. We got some good mornings to pass along as folks are waking up today. Let's see here. Jer Urban, how are you today? Linda Accord, good morning to you. Terry Carter, also Phil Garrison is watching this morning. Thank you. Tommy Ainsworth is up. Belinda Atkins, Joyce Stamper is up watching. Thank you. Charleston, South Carolina is where JT Rigdon is this morning. Appreciate you watching from up there. And good morning to Janice Bounds also, along with Donna Roseman watching. You know, as I go through these headlines every day, and we'll have a complete show of the news coming up at 8:30 this morning. Let's just look at, let me pull this up so you can see this. This is the stabbing that was going to take place in Ohio. And you had the media, a bunch of them saying that the officer involved shot the lady for no reason. Now you have the next door neighbor releasing his video cam going, well, no, that's not what happened. She was going to kill that little girl, and had the cop not intervened, she would have died. So why I say that, there's a lot of media that you just can't trust. This is the video from it. You can go to Fox News and watch it. As you'll see here in the bottom right-hand corner, all of this broke out last night in New York, and here's a different look at it. It was wild, more protest as you look at this. These were, I do believe it was Black Lives protesters that came in, and I've never been to Central Park in New York in my life. I don't know much about it, but more of it, they attacked, it's a statue of Columbus at the beginning of it, and a fight broke out. And of course, they went in with paint and tore it up. And it is just, I don't understand things like that. And I think most Americans don't. To why attack when there's no reason? And it just seems to continue day in, day out. Now, again, I hadn't forgot about the weather. We're going to do that. But this is just such a serious matter with our country. I brought this up a few weeks ago, and I hope that you won't mind that I do this morning because it really rings a bell to us. 1965, Paul Harvey, it was almost that Paul Harvey could see into the future. The man was brilliant. I remember as a kid listening to Paul Harvey and thinking, wow, he did pauses that no one else ever did in radio. It brought dramatics to it. He knew what to say. He was a God-fearing man. And there was never a time that Paul Harvey endorsed a product that he didn't believe in. That's just the way he did. They built him a studio at his home, and he done his broadcast there up until he could no longer do it. We trusted him, but if I were the devil, 1965, do y'all know what I'm talking about? There's a few people these days that don't know what I'm talking about, that have never heard it. As I went into this, and I've looked for it several times, there is copies of Paul Harvey's out there, but it's real staticky, and it is the original 1965 version of what he said. And it is not real clear. It's hard to do. And so I've went in and I've done the voice to this, and I wanted to share it with you. I'm not trying to be Paul Harvey by any means, because I can't. There is but one Paul Harvey that will ever walk the face of this earth. But the message that Paul Harvey passed along to everybody was so strong. It had a meaning. It had a message. And I want to share that with you this morning. If you've got a couple of minutes out of your day to sit back and listen to this message as we go back, and again, this was 1965 that Paul Harvey said all of this. If I were the prince of darkness, I would want to engulf the whole world in darkness. I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I'd seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set out however necessary to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I would begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince the children that man created God instead of the other way around. I could find that what's bad is good, what's good is square, and the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father which art in Washington. Well, then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors on how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction, and I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves until each, in its turn, was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellect but neglect to discipline emotions. I'd tell teachers to let the students run wild, and before you knew it, you'd have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. With a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing and judges promoting pornography. Soon, I would evict God from the courthouse and the schoolhouse and then from the houses of Congress. In his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and defy science. I'd lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbols of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I'd kill the incentive of the ambitious. What do you bet? I could get whole states to promote gambling as a way to get rich. I'd convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, and what you see on television is the way to be, and thus I could undress you in public and lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Now, is that not the truth? Again, that was 1965 that Paul Harvey wrote those words. And it was almost if Paul had a crystal ball that could see into the future as to what laid in wait for the United States. It's here. All of that has arrived. And as Christians, we have to stand up and do the right thing, even if it's against the grain, so to speak, across America. Stand your ground and do what's right in life. I felt I should share that today, and I hope you don't mind. I'll go back and I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to post that here in just a little while, and I'll just entitle it, If I Were the Devil, in case you want to share that with someone who's never heard it, because I know Paul Harvey has passed away, but what he had to say really, really, really is strong and should be shared so others that will know that. So anyway, I thought I'd do that this morning. Let's start talking about the weather now and move on to other things that are affecting us today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And again, welcome if you're just joining for the very first time ever watching us. I do appreciate that. This morning, coming up at 8:30, Candace will join me, and we'll have a complete show of what goes on in America and across it of headlines. All right, let's now go to radar this morning and look at what is coming and what we should expect over the next few hours. This is an overview of the United States this morning. Northern Mississippi, we've got a few showers there up through Memphis, around Nashville as well. All right, let's look at what we have going on tonight. Let's go into the severe weather outlook and pull up Friday, what's going to happen today. This is our map as we look at this. Louisiana and west of Jackson will get a lot worse weather than the Meridian area as we look at this. Stretching from Tyler, Texas through Shreveport through Baton Rouge, they're at a 3 to where the Meridian area is a 2. And we zoom into this, and the Meridian area here, barely, here's Lauderdale County here. This is Clark County. This is Wayne. This is for today, how that kind of rips through the area. And as we move this, let's go ahead and move this up to tonight at midnight. This is the change that happens at midnight as it shifts across. And this does take in most of the Meridian area here on the eastern side of the county here, all the way back to Brandon, Mississippi, and due north through Starkville. So if you've got folks up in Starkville area going to school, and it'll go up to Tupelo, taking over Tuscaloosa, these areas here through Birmingham, through Montgomery. This is for tonight after midnight is how this is going to work. As we shift gears, let me show you how that's going to stretch out. As it goes from here to go all the way through South Carolina, as it moves across the area, taking in northern Florida and most all of Georgia there. And Dothan, Alabama, these areas here are going to be included in that. As we go to day 3, this will move out of the area. As you can see, the only rain, it'll be some light areas down in Jacksonville and these areas here. But that's the forecast, so it's going to be a little different as we move into tonight. Let's pull up what the National Weather Service has to tell us as what we should expect for today. All right, first off, as we pull up, we go back, and on today's record-breaking history month, 1960, it was 93. I know I got 9 sitting there, but it was 93 degrees. For some reason, I didn't put the 3. As we moved into the coldest day of the year, it was 1986, setting at 33 degrees, a very, very cold day. As we look at what is expected today, it's going to be cloudy for the most part today. We're going to get 71 is what the National Weather Service tells us, a slight chance of showers, about a 20% chance. All bets are off when it comes to tonight. All of this changes. As we look at this, we go across the state line. Pretty much the same thing for Alabama, York, Alabama, Demopolis, all these areas of York, Livingston, about 72, 73 degrees today. As we move forward, this is our timeline for severe weather for tonight. The immediate area through here down through Hattiesburg toward the coast is going to be midnight till daylight is basically the best way to say that, from midnight till 6 a.m. As you can look at this, this is our area here. It's going to be worse, as I pointed out there, back toward the Jackson area, west of Jackson into Louisiana. We're at a 2. Louisiana is at a 3, so they've got a lot more concerns than we do. As we look at this, expect some very, very heavy rains. We're going to get anywhere, if you look at the flooding maps, and we'll show those in a minute, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. Definitely 1 inch, without a doubt. It's going to be a rain event, and it's going to be a wind event, what is coming in. There is that outside chance that we could get tornadoes, but most likely wind and rain is what we're going to get. But again, it cannot be ruled out. I don't want anybody to be surprised should it happen. We're at a 2 out of a 5. I don't want to panic anybody, but these things happen with a lot of rain. Of course, limbs and trees can come down, and we're expecting that again with this. Again, over toward Natchez, y'all are under the 3 area there if you're going to be in that neck of the woods. As we cross the state, go further down, Waynesboro also into a 2 down toward the coast area there. Areas of Alabama, Butler, y'all are also under a 2. As we look at the overall threat of Alabama as we cross about that, as it moves through the Mississippi side from midnight till 6 a.m., it'll pick up around 3 a.m. and start affecting the Alabama area. So right there on the state line, somewhere around 3 in the dead of the night, if you're living in the Alabama area, be ready. So as we all know, these things can be a little faster, a little slower than what we're expecting from time to time. So let's pay heed to the midnight till 6 a.m. I'll be here throughout all the nighttime hours to let you know how it is, where it is, and to walk you through it right up to your doorstep so you'll feel safe. We want you to know about that. As we move forward with this, the threat, it goes on into the afternoon into Alabama tomorrow afternoon. As we look at this Demopolis area here, we'll be at a 2. Again, this is going to be a 2-round system. The first one being the worst of the 2 in the overnight hours. And then after daylight comes, we're going to get a lot of rain. Not so much of a threat of a tornado, but we're going to get more chances of rain. And again, this will be out and gone by the time that proms and all the events going on at Kemper Academy happen tomorrow night. But there could be periods of rain anywhere from 9 until 5 in the afternoon. We'll know more as it approaches. Storms do change as they come. but I don't want you to be caught off guard by any means with this. As we go here and we go down to the Louisiana side of it, we go down to South Mississippi and into the New Orleans area. New Orleans, you are also under this threat, as taking in all of the coast area, right up to Biloxi. Baton Rouge area and Macomb is just across the line, and it's under that 3 area of a 3 out of a 5 danger zone. A lot of it there. As we look at the potential for flooding with this, now they've expanded this. Originally, it just stopped shy of going into Kemper County. Kemper County now and Winston County now under this possible threat of flooding. So pay attention to it. Up to 2 inches of rain in the yellow areas, that's the Columbus area, and then our immediate area, the heart of where we are, it can be anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain. And again, that's one of the biggest threats we're going to see with all of this as this severe weather comes in. If you wouldn't mind, share my page, invite others to it so they'll know about it. There are a few people out there that still are not aware that I do this, so I'd like for them to know about it if you can share it. As we look at our temps, what's going to be going on over the next 10 days with the weather? As we pull this up, we see that we get to a normal state, to where we've had a little bit above average. We were cooler. The cooler air is moving out. Now we're going to go into a normal stage. All right, let's pull up what the National Weather Service tells us. Actually, this is my system that's telling us over the next week, as we see highs of 71 today. Tonight, as you remember, we were into the 30s the other night. It's not going to be happening any further. Tonight, we'll get down to that low of 57 is what we'll get. 100% chance of showers is what is being forecasted, likely before 10 p.m. tonight. Then showers possible between 10 and 1. That's when about the time that the thunderstorm activity will become. Some of them are going to be severe with heavy, heavy rainfall. Wind gust of 20 miles an hour, rainfall anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. Worst case scenario, up to 4 inches where it could come down. As we move into the daylight hours, a 50% chance of showers through mid-morning, and then it'll gradually break away and should be clearing and out of the area by late in the afternoon. High of about 81 is what we'll get. So hopefully the storm will get a little faster than we're thinking and be out of the area and where everybody can get on with their lives, and it just kind of, what's the old word, fade away. That's what we're hoping for. As we move into sunny and we head off to Sunday morning, sunshine, as I tried to say sunny too quick, and 77 for a high. Great weather on Sunday. Probably going to be a little too wet to mow your grass there. And then things are back to normal come Monday morning with sunshine and 82. And as we do that, we'll start looking as to what's coming next week. Possibility of some more severe weather next week also. We'll stay on that. Let's look a few days out in advance here as we go through May the 7th of temperatures. Look at this. We're into the 80s. By the time we get to May 1, the temperatures, I'm getting tongue twisted, aren't I? Stay very steady, and we go to about 76 degrees there on the 2nd, and by the 4th, we're at 83, and it's going to stay steady. Nighttime lows are going to be just about that 60-degree mark. What do you think about that? I was reading a moment ago, so let's keep our weather now. Don't forget any of this, of what's going on. And we have to say congratulations this morning to somebody that I remember like it was yesterday of when this was open. It was a grand opening. It was a big day in the big city of Collinsville. Today marks the 20th anniversary of the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. 20 years. Joe opened it up in 2001. That's been a little spell, hasn't it? Fast 20 years, and as Joe posted just a few moments ago, he wanted to thank all of his customers for supporting him and being a part of it. If you hadn't visited Joe, stop by for a plate lunch. It's a great place for a lunch. The specials this week, if you're looking for fresh corn there at the Pig, is $1.99 for the 3-pack of corn. You can also get the Idaho potatoes, 8-pound bag for $3.99. As we go through here, strawberries $3.99. You can get the yellow zucchini squash for $1.29. Roman tomatoes, those are always good, 99 cents a pound. And, of course, yellow, white, red onions, 99 cents a pound. Grilling beans, if you're looking for those, and bush baked beans, 2 for $4. You can get the Sweet Baby Ray's. This goes good with just about any type of barbecue that you're doing, 2 for $3 there. A bargain on that. If you're needing sugar, they've got that. Sweet Tooths, of course, Chips Ahoy, 2 for $5. You can get paper towels, the 6-pack roll, the 6-count roll, rather, I guess is how you say it, $6.99. A deal on that, along with mayonnaise if you're looking for the Piggly Wiggly, or if you're hung up and got to have Blue Plate, a good deal on that at $2.99 as well. Captain Crunch is there, along with leg quarters, $5.99 for that 10-pound bag, along with Boston Butts. That is really good. Had some last weekend from the Pig, $1.59 a pound. And And, of course, whole pork loin. You can get wieners. You can get also tons of Coca-Cola products as they celebrate their 20th anniversary today. Drop in and see my friend Joe, a great guy. You'll like it. A friendly staff in Collinsville who's been there. Just doesn't seem it. 20 years, how it flies by. Oh, Kenny Rogers had a song called 20 Years Ago. Y'all remember that? Yeah, it didn't do too good on the charts. I do remember that part. As we go back, we had some more comments that came in. Let's see. Shirley Gardner is watching. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hazel West said, good job with the Paul Harvey. The devil is working overtime. Boy, he is. Good morning to Kim Valking. Robin Miller, good morning. I'll be ready for the weather tonight. She prays that everybody is safe. I do too. Good morning to Debbie Stewart. Debbie's up where all the train action happened with the cattle trailer there up in Portable. Donna Roseman, Paul Harvey used to bring a powerful message. He did. He was a God-fearing man. I really miss that man. Good morning to Teresa Westbrook. Morning. Robin Miller, please keep us posted tonight. I will do. Gail Gafford, good morning to you, along with Donna Sue Pebbles. Milton Savell is up. Also, Kate Johnson watching. Let's see, we got somebody from YouTube watching there. Nice man does stuff. Hello to you. Davin Talbert. I almost said that wrong. Davin Talbert. Thank you for watching, along with Angela Sloan. How are you today? Good morning from Winston County. I hope y'all are doing well up there. We'll get a little rain there. Let's see here. Gail says she stopped down at the Pig several times. Appreciate you going by and seeing him. She says, congratulations, Joe. As we move into this stuff, remember now, I'll be here throughout the night hours, and when it comes, we'll go live and we'll walk you through it step by step. I do weather a little bit different than most people as we describe where it is, and we'll talk what it's close to, and I'll stay with you through it all. We start when the severe thunderstorms start firing off, because they will turn into other things quicker than you realize. And if you're sitting there, it really doesn't matter whether it's a severe thunderstorm or if it's any other kind of warning. If it's bad in your area, you want to know what's going on. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll watch all that very carefully. As I've mentioned before, our friends down at Sanders Gas, with the threat of bad weather always comes with that chance of, losing power. And we don't want you to lose power, and they will help you out there with a Generac generator. As we pull up pictures of this, if you hadn't gotten a quote on one of these, talk to them. They'll come out to your home, take a look around, tell you how much power your house uses. They hook up machines. If you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners, they get one that is adjusted to your size. Up to a 24 kW. They can probably get bigger ones there. Some are smaller. Very, very affordable, though. They're great. It takes about 35 seconds for it to switch before it goes and turns that on, and then you've got power for the rest of the time. Also, as we watch all this hot, cold, make sure that your air conditioner is up to date. Does it need a tune-up? Does it need checked out? They'll come out and clean it. $69.99. They'll come out and work on your air conditioner to get that going. And also, they'll come the same day. If something breaks down, they'll come that day to take care of you. They know how it is to be without air conditioner or heat, because you never know here in the Meridian area what you're going to need. Again, Sanders Gas. Talk to Chuck and his friendly staff. They'll help you at 693-1212 here in the Meridian area. Check those out. Candace is going to be joining me again in roughly a little over an hour. What are we? We're coming up on 7 o'clock. Hour and a half she'll be joining me as we get things gathered up to go over all the things that went on across America over the nighttime hours and yesterday in the afternoon, to let you know where it is, what's going on locally in our area. We'll pass that along as we get ready for elections in the city limits of Meridian next week. Tuesday is the day, and I'm sure there's some more runoffs in some other places as well. Let me say a big thank you to everybody joining this morning. Again, I'll take that if I were the devil, and I'm going to cut that out, and I'll post that in a moment if you'd like to share that with somebody to where it's a little bit easier and it's just kind of contained. I'm going to go in with that little editor thing there. Morning there to Cornbread watching in this morning. Do appreciate that. Winds, yes, we're going to get asked where we're going to get hail. We don't have as much of a hail threat on this as we do wind and rain. There is always the possibility with it, and as we do all of this, radar will pull up and we'll be able to pinpoint as it approaches. As always, if you've got one of those $800 car payments, as they now cost these days, you might want to park it somewhere just to be safe. Again, with these storms, let me remind you this. If you've got a tree that is leaning over your home, I highly suggest not sleeping in a bedroom to where that could fall with winds and rain. Those can come down and land on your house. And I can't tell you the times I've had to go into stories to where it's a death threat. It's a killer. Do not sleep in a room that has a tree right over a room. It can be very dangerous. After all the storms clear, look into having something like that cut. I know they're cool and they keep your air conditioner down, but it is not worth your life because that can happen quickly. The more it rains, the higher the winds, the more things are going to snap. So just a little friendly reminder there for you. Not so much of a tornado threat here in this area. West of us, again, Natchez, Vicksburg area, they've got more of a chance than we do. We'll watch it. With anything, it's Mother Nature, though. We'll watch it and we'll let you know as these storms develop tonight. After hours is what we're doing, so be prepared. I'll be back in just a little while. Thank you for stopping by and spending a few moments with me this morning. I appreciate it. God bless everybody, and we'll talk to you very soon in just a little over an hour with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by